And continuing this week's theme, today we're going to be talking specifically about Internet Radio 101 and specifically how to access music at your fingertips. And I should also say, if I haven't met you before, my name's Reed. I've been volunteering here for a little while, but it's always nice to see new faces. So we're going to get right into it. So just a bit of a table of content so you have an idea of what we're going to be learning together today. We're going to start off by first kind of discussing what internet radio actually is. Then we'll move on to how to access platforms, a bit on analysis, which we'll go more into. And then at the end, we're going to do a 5-minute video demo where we're going to watch a video together to get some more kind of visual or, actual real practice with it. So to start off, internet radio is a digital audio service and it's received via the internet. This means that it can be streamed in real time, but it can also be on demand. It's very popular for users to listen to music, talk shows, podcasts, and even niche genres. So if any of those things interest you or you enjoy listening to all different sorts of medias, then this presentation is definitely for you. Some of the key features of internet radio include, firstly, that it's accessible from desktops, smartphones, and smart TVs. So there's a wide range of devices that you can use it on. It also has features like sleep timers, skip buttons, and sharing as well, which makes it very versatile. There's the option to have personalization via algorithms. So based on whatever you're listening to or some of your activity on the platform, it will give you some recommendations or tailor the content to your interests. And lastly, there are also multiple genres and cultural diversity. So there's something for all listeners, whether you like rock music, audiobooks, podcasts, really anything you can think of. And in terms of kind of the history and evolution of internet radio, it emerged around the early 1990s, and this was specifically with something called real audio. Then into the 2000s, it grew with increased broadband. Then next on the evolutionary journey in 2013, iTunes Radio launched. And then more recently in 2025, it merged with social media and video content using Twitch. So there have been lots of developments over the years, and it's become kind of a more expanded version of what it once was. So now to give some more examples and help you to better understand this concept, I'm going to go over a few different types of internet radio. Firstly, news and talk-based stations are one example. There's also live simulcasts of FM or AM stations. There's also user-generated playlists, for example, Spotify Radio. And then there's also independent online-only stations as well. So next, we're going to discuss accessing internet radio, specifically the different devices. So you can go through your smartphone or tablet. If you have a laptop or desktop, those are also devices you can use to access internet radio. Even smart speakers. So for example, Alexa or Google Nest, you can access it with, as well as smart TVs with internet applications. Something very interesting that I actually didn't know about was that you can access it using VR headsets in virtual environments, as well as gaming consoles with browser So there's lots of different ways that you can actually use internet radio. Then specifically some apps that you can use. So to start off, we have streaming apps, which most of you are probably familiar with or have heard of, such as Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn as well. There's also Twitch live streams, podcast platforms with radio support, for example, Pocket Casts, some more radio specific apps, for example, Simple Radio or Radio Garden, the classic Apple Music, as well as YouTube Music, and finally Shazam, Amazon Music, and SoundCloud. So again, with many different devices that you can use to access the service, there's also lots of different applications that can be used. So now that we've got a pretty solid foundational understanding of what internet radio actually is, we're going to walk through a few steps that you can follow to start listening. So you want to first make sure that you're connected to stable Wi-Fi or data plan because it, as the name suggests, requires internet in order to use. Next, you want to open an application, for example, Spotify or Amazon Music. If you're looking for something different, you can go to the previous slide and just take a look at some of the other examples. And once you've visited the radio or platform site, you can search by genre, location, or station name. Then you click on whatever search you're happy with to start the stream. And something that's really great about it is that you don't need to download it. Because you are attached to the internet, you can just stream it from your device immediately. So now we're going to discuss a few different current trends in internet radio if you're wondering kind of what's going on currently and what other users are doing. So recently there's been a rise of AI-generated playlists and voices. For example, I believe Spotify has a DJ now that will kind of personalize your music. I'm not sure if that's a direct example of internet radio, but that is an example of AI generation. So it can follow whatever you're interested in, and then it can curate playlists for you and also create kind of like a personalized radio station, if that makes sense. There's also more cross-platform syncing and integration, which always makes the kind of internet radio easier to use if it's more integrated. There's also voice search, which is becoming more dominant and kind of more effective. So if you're speaking into your device, it'll pick up what you're saying with greater efficacy. There's also regional and local station revival via apps. There's even car and smart home integration, which has kind of risen in popularity. So you can integrate it more into your day-to-day life, whether it's on your smart TV or when you're on your way to work or running an errand in your car. There's also gamification, which makes it more interactive. Some growth of non-English radio content in the more recent times as well, making it kind of more inclusive as well as diverse for listeners of all different interests. And there's also curated mental health and wellness stations, as mental health is a very big and impactful topic affecting all societies today. So that's also really great to see. In terms of the impact of AI and machine learning, some of the benefits that it can have includes reducing operational needs for manual playlists. It offers real-time speech to text for accessibility. So rather than having to type everything out, you can simply speak to your device and it'll pick up what you're saying. AI tools are now able to remix or enhance old radio content, so kind of making what's old new again or more accessible. And there's even chatbots that you can message or communicate with to assist with user recommendations. So again, more kind of features available, and it's a lot more kind of integrated into your use of your technology. And now just kind of a slide for 5G and streaming efficiency. This allows for faster load times with minimal buffering, which can enable ultra low latency live broadcasting, for example. There's enhanced smart car radio performance and higher resolution audio formats, as well as kind of as a result, boosted live interaction and polls, and also reduced streaming costs over time. So these are just kind of some of the things that emerge as a result of this increased streaming efficiency. And then this slide speaks directly to the global effects of internet radio. So as I mentioned before, there's a lot more language options and regional content, allowing for more languages aside from just English, which is great to see. There's also the opportunity for the radio to be used for education in remote areas. Also cultural preservation via localized music. Another great global effect is that Indigenous voices can be amplified via online stations. There are partnerships with local creators in Africa, Asia, etc. There's also offline first streaming apps for low data areas, and even smart speaker growth in non-Western markets. So this goes beyond just the user, or if I were to use internet radio, for example, from my phone, there are global effects across the world. So it's really cool to see how this kind of technology and emerging AI can really affect lives everywhere. We did want to share just a few resources with you all if you're interested in going a bit deeper into this topic. You'll receive a copy of the presentation, so you'll be able to just click on these links, but definitely helpful if you're looking for some additional information. And to end off, we want to thank you very much for joining us today and listening in. If you'd like to learn this lesson in more detail with a Cyber Seniors mentor, please go to the website or call the phone number to register for a one-on-one phone session. We do also host weekly tech drop-in sessions from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays, where all tech-related questions and discussions are more than welcome.